Yo, people, what's going on? Back again with another footy talk. Lewis, what's good, my guy?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a boring week. I won't lie to you. Caicedo's still not through, but again, not really worrying too much. Lukaku, God knows what's happening with that situation. That's going to get messier and messier as the window goes. But yeah, it's been a bit of a dead period for us, but I think it's been a bit overdue too. Like, we've had a crazy last month and a half in the transfer window. We got rid of half the squad. Guess we brought in one striker. We're still waiting for, I think, Lukaku to go before maybe we focus on getting a second striker in. But I'm hearing a bunch of different reports. We might not even go for a striker, depending on preseason, which is a massive variable and everything. But I don't know. I'm not too against it. Like, I would rather have an experienced number 9 up front, but what would be the point of signing Nicholas Jackson if you're not going to give him an opportunity? So
Yeah.
Have to see what he's like in preseason.
No, facts. And you know what's funny as well? You lot started the window like a house on fire. You know, like that. He was going to slow down at some point. You know, like that. It's going to slow down at one point. So the fact that you are having a more tame, say, week or whatever, and then on our side, started dead, and now things are starting to pick up, links are starting to take place, and so on and so forth. So it is what it is. You lot been linked with Dybala as well. And I see I see a quote, I don't know if it was real though, from Thiago Silva saying that he asked him if he was coming to Chelsea or some shit like that. I don't know if it was a real quote though. Like, you lot let me know.
No, that was a real quote, but I don't really believe Dybala to Chelsea's actually happening.
Why not? Because Poch wants him. So if Poch wants him, then why not?
No, Poch wants him, but he's a name on a list. And I think from Dybala's side, he's just using us for contract negotiations with Roma. Like, Dybala's always struck me as the sort of player that if he wanted to leave Italy, he would have left Italy years ago, innit? Like, now it doesn't really make as much sense as, let's say, 5 years ago, and he was a lot younger. You could produce a higher price tag or much higher wages. He's always struck me as one of those guys who's just settled in Italy and loves the life there. So I wouldn't be too surprised if he did just end up re-signing. But he's talking to Chelsea and he's in contract negotiations with Roma, Roma are trying to take the release clauses off his wages, but he wants a fat increase as a result of that. So I don't think it happens. I wouldn't be against it. I think he'd start for us. I think he'd be great competition in a bunch of different positions. Gives us a little bit of experience, but I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. I think he just stays at Roma for another year.
That's fair. Do you know what I'm saying? That is very, very fair. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But if you were to,
I know the idea is though, we go for a midfield.
That would explain why you wouldn't want to get an out-and-out striker. Like Poch does like inverted tens from out wide.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I know we're looking for tens anyway. It's just, I think Dybala was looked at as more of an opportunity. We've never really been looking at him over the last couple months or anything. It's only something that just popped up a week or two ago. It just seems very convenient. And if Dybala really wanted to leave, there'd be more clubs interested in him than just Chelsea. So, yeah, don't see that happening. The plan apparently is, though,
maybe it's a Pochettino thing, though, more than
what?
Maybe it's a Pochettino thing, though, more than anything else.
In terms of what?
Because Poch wants him, innit? Like, just like Poch got linked with Latoro. Them man were going on like he just wants to do the South American thing. So, do you know what I mean?
Maybe that's it, though. Maybe we just link to every Argentinian on the map. They'll be linked to Lisandro next or something. God knows.
No, this is funny. All right, big up everyone. Everyone was messaging me about the Tonali thing, bro. Listen, I told you, man, this already. A lot of you football fans do not understand. Football is a job for these guys. I know a lot of you guys love football and stuff like that, but the average footballer looks at football as no more than a job. And who the fuck wants to live in Newcastle? No one. You know, like that. These man come in. I don't know if it was a release clause thing or whatever, but they offered AC Milan money that they had to accept, bro. This brother didn't want to leave. This is Di Maria 2.0 all over again when he come to Man United.
Yep.
Gonna leave. Real Madrid kicked him out. Same thing happened with Ozil as well, like at Real Madrid, bro. Man just told, listen, man, them have hit the money, get out of it. The man didn't want to leave. You know, like that. The difference is, at least Ozil got to move to London, bro. Di Maria moved to Manchester. Man don't want to live in Manchester. Man was in Madrid, fam. You know what I mean?
Maybe Tonali and Milan are doing the fucking Lukaku and Inter thing.
Bruv, Milan to Newcastle. Oh my days, bruv. Respectfully, any of you Geordies in here, no one wants to live in your city. And so one of them ones. It's good for a
good night out, though.
That's it. It's good for a night out over the weekend, but no one don't want to live there, bruv. You know, like that. And bro, he was sitting there like he'd been kidnapped, bro. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It was a painful thing. Like I only saw the stills in it, but he was sitting there looking like, oh,
you know, one of them walking through the training room, and he's like, the one in Milan was bigger.
Yeah, that man said, oh yeah, it's this big. Man's just like, man, I'm forgetting that Milan, yeah, champion, like European champions and that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I compare them to Newcastle. It's a joke thing. Like, who would even ask that question?
I understand it. Like,
nah, it's banter.
I've seen it enough times with Chelsea. No, I mean in terms of the player being homesick and everything.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it enough times with us where we've had managers or players come to us from Italy and within a year they want to fuck off. And that's in London, let alone in Newcastle. But I won't lie. If I was a Newcastle fan, I'd understand it for now, but my patience would wear very thin with him very quickly. Because to me, I get it, football is a job, but it's also a very privileged job where you're earning about 5 to 6 figures a week. Yeah, it's a little bit miserable there. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit cloudy, but you're in a very privileged position to a lot of people. I tell them, suck it the fuck up and move on, because what? You're in Newcastle, you're the richest team in the world, you're getting bags of money, you stand to get even more bags of money. You can build a very, very high quality of life for yourself, and it's going to be the weather that's the overarching factor over everything. To me, it's a bit of a bitch mentality. I get it for now. Literally, you're adjusting to a new city, a new way of life, everything like that. There's going to be adjustment factors to that. I get that initially. If this shit was still coming up 4 to 6 months into the season and we're in the middle of a title race or something, I'd be fuming.
No, but you know what it is, yeah? The worst thing about that situation for me is the fact that he ain't even pretended to be happy. You know, like that. If I have paid all this money for this brother, at least come in and look happy. Even if deep down, yeah, you're going through it, blood. You're not supposed to show so openly that you don't want to be there. Do you know what I mean? This is what my problem is. Like, this is what my problem is. If I'm a Newcastle fan, I'm fuming, blood. Because it's like, these men have spent all this money on you. Obviously, you might not have had that much of a choice whether you're leaving or not. But, bro, just out of respect for everyone, just chill, innit? Smile, say, you know what? I'm excited by the project. Even if it's killing you inside. Because, bro, you're getting paid well, innit? But my brother was sitting there, shoulder slumped like this, bro. Like, that man had a gun to his head. And it's just like, it's not really great, is it? And if you're Newcastle, honestly, don't do the deal. You know what I mean? If you can feel that this brother does not want to play for you, why are you signing it? Get someone that's going to be excited by the project, that's going to really put it in. And this is another reason why, yeah, this is another reason why there's a premium on English players. Because, for instance, if you're Man United, you ain't got to sell what it means to play for Man United to English players. They know, innit? They know the history of the club. Like, Newcastle's a respected club in this country, but outside of this country, man, don't give a shit about Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? So better you do the Premier League thing and you pay a premium and you go and sign either English players or players that have played in the Premier League that understand what kind of crowd you're going to get at St. James's. All these other things. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you do. This is what you do. Man United done it. I mean, Man City done it at the beginning, bro. They went and they signed Premier League proven players that play in the league, players that could see what was going on, innit? When you go outside and you sign players, you get like the Robinhos and the other guys that just don't want to play for you, bro. Like, there's no point signing these guys, bro. These guys are going to have like 8 good games a season, bro. They don't want to be there. It's crazy.
See, I feel like during talks there must have been some sort of indication that he was willing to be committed and everything.
Bruv, the money, that's what he's willing.
But then there must be something. There's got to be something you go off with this move, because Tonali couldn't have just been a moany little bitch in all of the negotiations, sulked, cried into his tissues, and they just offer him a 5-year contract.
Yeah, but how much of the negotiations was he involved in? Because think about it, yeah. Think about it. Most of the time when you negotiate with players, you're not negotiating with players, you're negotiating with their agent. So,
but you do still speak to the player.
You do, but not really. You know, like that. You speak to the player after the fact. The majority of the negotiations are done beforehand with the agent, and then you speak to the player towards the end once personal terms and all these things are agreed. And that's when they say, "Oh, you excited to come?" And he's like, "Yeah." But really, the agent's saying, "Yo, them man have accepted the bid. You're leaving, blood. Like, how much money do you want me to get for you?" This is what it is. It's not a thing where everyone's sitting down at a table together. The reason why you pay your agent is so that you're not involved in any of these conversations. You're always the last person at the table when all of these things have been negotiated. And they probably said, "Yo, they're willing to give you this, X, Y, Z." Then he's pulled up to Newcastle, seen the weather, seen the facilities, and said, "Yo, this is dead, bruv."
This is the summer, you know.
This is what it is. This is exactly what it is. He pulled up to Newcastle, and then he saw the training ground and he saw everything, and he said, "What is this, bruv?" You know, like that's exactly what happened, bro. I'll be real. I'll be completely real. That's what happened. It's peak,
poor
bro.
guy. Like Milan didn't even
He
didn't even want to leave Milan. Milan just booted him out for the money, which, I mean, I get. You know what these Italian clubs are like and everything. Money is the biggest thing for them, and they'll rip every English club apart for it. But you gotta make it work. You gotta make it work, innit? Like, yeah, it's not an ideal situation for you, but sorry, it's not like you're earning minimum wage. You're on 5-6 bags a week.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, you know what it is, yeah? Because of the quality of life in Italy, yeah. Even though he would have been on considerably less, he would have still been happier. Like, I always say this to people, it's like, once you're a millionaire, yeah, like, bro, like, who cares? Like, do you know what I mean? Whether you've got
money don't really hit the same, does it?
It don't hit the same. If you got 10 million or 50 million, yeah, there's not really many things that you can do with 50 M's that you can't do with 10 in terms of traveling the world, doing whatever you want. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the difference? There's not really much difference. And then you think about it in a way where he's grown up in a certain country, he knows the culture, he's a fan of that club as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, all of those things, yeah, is peak. Like, you know, when you actually think about it, man's been forced out his own yard, bruv. He's been forced out of his own home, bruv. We don't even know if he speaks English. Like, he's been forced out of his own home, yeah, because these men have been offered some money, bruv. Like, this is what it is. When you actually deep, it's cold. I see this happening.
I wouldn't be missing Milan. I'd be fuming.
But that's what it looks like. He looks angry, blood. Like,
I'll come back with Inter, bruv.
Bro,
you don't do that shit to me.
I see this shit in the NBA all the time. You know them, and certain man get traded when they're sleeping. Man wake up and realize they've been traded to Utah and that. Bro, these things happen in the NBA. It's cold, but in football, yeah, it happens more than you think. A lot of these moves, these footballers don't really want to go. Like, even Joao Felix, you can't tell me that he wanted to go Atleti. He didn't. They triggered man's release clause, and then man said, "What, 100 and what million, bruv? Get out." That's what it was. You know, like that, bro. Like, that's what it was. That's how we ended up there on some Banduli 10-year contract, bruv. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm trying to remember other instances where players have left and they haven't wanted to leave. I know there has been some.
Bro, it's crazy.
I do. Yeah, that screams like a Serie A thing. Screams Serie A.
Bro, it's a money thing. These men have been hit with money.
Maria didn't want to leave Real Madrid.
Hell no, he got forced out, bruv, and then he ended up at us, bruv. He didn't want to come to us.
Yeah, because they said he weren't marketable at that time, didn't they?
Bro, they did not want this guy. They did not want him, bro. Like, it's
mad. That's another one.
Even the Alexis thing as well, bro. Alexis to Arsenal, bro. Like, Barca and Real Madrid get rid of players all the time. It's never players want to leave them. Players always just get forced out of these clubs. Once they don't want you no more. Look at Erdegaard and them man there. Yeah, that's it. Them man just get dashed. They get
Oba
dashed.
literally just they told Oba, like, yeah, you're our player of the season last season, but we need somebody to go. And you're the only guy we're getting bids for. So peace.
This is it. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, in football, it happens all the time, innit? But when you get forced out in football, a lot of the time, if there's another team that's available, you can kind of at least negotiate the best case scenario for yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? But it hasn't worked out that way for Tonali because no one else was willing to pay what Newcastle were willing to pay. And bro, it's sad. I can't lie, bro, because he looks beat. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's funny, but then it's not funny, innit? You know, like that. It's funny, but then it's not funny because you could just wake up one day and your employee, bruv, nah. Like in no other, apart from sports, when could that happen? You know, like that. That's crazy, blood. You know them ones.
Yeah, you can't even do that with like your standard 9 to 5. They can't just give you a contract.
Bruv, listen, that's crazy. Imagine you was working for Sainsbury's and they said, "Oh yeah, you're good, bruv. We're trading you to Audi and that, bruv. You're going Audi, bruv."
Yeah,
like,
Tesco gave us a good deal. You're off.
That's it, bruv. Nah, that's crazy. Man just traded you somewhere else. I said, nah, you're going Tesco's. You ain't got a choice, blood. A man said, oh, what? Tesco's, what? Nah, the Tesco's in Birmingham. You know, like that, and you live in London. Man said, oh, yeah, man, I send you to Birmingham Tesco's and that, bruv. Oh, my
God. I do feel a bit worse for him now we've spoken about it. Can't lie. I was thinking this guy's a dickhead. I won't lie.
Pissed. Nah, he's pissed. I get it. You know what I mean? I fully get it. Like, I fully get why he's pissed, bro.
Now I get the money situation, how that sort of money is mad to us, but to them it's like,
to them it's
we just got an extra 30k. Great.
That's it. But that's what it is. Come on, bro. Like most of these footballers, yeah, if they're sensible, the money that they're getting paid from football, they're not seeing half of that until they retire. They're just not. There's no need for it, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Imagine if you were making 200,000 a week or something like that. It is not possible to spend all of that money here on stuff that's going to make you happy, bruv, in a week. Like, it's not, bruv, what? What are you doing, bruv? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make no sense. There's only a certain number of cars you could buy. You can't go on holiday because it's in season. Like, what are you spending the money on, bruv? Unless these men have
too much because of training and everything.
Unless these men have gambling problems, you can't get through all that bread.
Especially if you're settled down too. Because realistically, your day is going to be like you wake up early in the morning, you go to training, finish that, maybe do some gym work or some extra sessions or whatever you want to do in the mid-afternoon. Then you got to go home and be a dad or be a husband or both.
Yeah.
You don't really have to spend too much when you really deep it. That's probably why Arteta's telling all these Arsenal players get married and everything and settle down.
Yeah, that's that. But that's what Sir Alex Ferguson was doing as well, because he can control where they're gonna be. Do you know what I mean? That's why he liked his players to settle down young. But bro, it's a bad idea. You know, like that. Fuck all that. You know what I mean? But they're saying
footballing perspective or just a life perspective.
All of that perspective, bruv. Like
the life, I get that. I get that.
But in football as well, what the fuck are you doing that for? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, bro, like. Obviously, if you got a wife here that's gonna look after the youths and that, cool, innit? Because the thing is, if you're an athlete, bro, like you need your sleep, you need your rest. You're not resting when you're running around after 8 kids like Harry Kane, bruv. You know them, but that's not rest, cuz you know, like that. Like it might work for him, but for a lot of people,
them to do as much work with the kids as the mother anyway.
Yeah,
it's
but
just you go there and you're about.
Yeah, but if I'm trying to sleep and the kid's kicking you in the face and that, bruv, what, you ain't been around kids, bruv? Loud.
Yeah, no. If you're trying to sleep and get your 8 hours, lock the door and everything. That's the wife's problem. But like you could be like, let's say you come back from training, you have a couple hours with the kids or something, and then you go for a long sleep. But even in spite of that, that's a very routine day in the life, and it doesn't really incorporate spending a lot of money.
No, it doesn't. But this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, so it's one of them ones where, bro, like it's impossible to spend loads of bread, like regardless, because of their routines. They can't be out like that. And then on top of it, like they're so well known, a lot of them, they can't just be out doing brazy stuff. Like they can't, innit? So unless these men are gambling, they're not losing their money. Like they're not losing their money. Most of these guys that go broke,
gambling,
so they got a gambling problem or they got divorced. But not even cars, because you can sell cars. Yeah, you're not gonna get your money back on them, but you can get something in it. Like, bro, it's divorce and gambling are the main things that fuck up athletes, bruv.
Football players aren't getting prenups, and that's their own hell. Like, it's whatever.
It's divorce,
whatever in it.
it's divorce, blood, and gambling, bro. You know, like that. So it's one of them ones where if you're a manager, you should be telling these motherfuckers.
Well, if you get away with it,
get married and don't gamble. You know, like that. That's what you should be telling them.
How many of these football players actually gamble? Because that's always been baffling to me.
No, a lot of them do. They play poker and stuff like
Is it
that.
just like a little thrill or something?
Nah, bro, bruv, these man bet on cards, bro. Like, you don't understand. They'll be on the coach.
Oh, poker and that.
Bruv, listen, they'll be on the Listen, man been on the coach here on the way to games. A man maybe betting £1,000 on blackjack and that. Like, bro, like these man got money, bro. You don't understand. Like, £1,000 is nothing to them. £1,000 is like £10. You know what I mean? A grand's like a tenner.
Yeah, they're just living life in a different wavelength.
Man are playing blackjack. Do you know what I'm saying? Man are playing blackjack for a bag. Like, you know what I mean? Or they're betting on FIFA. These men are betting on FIFA, bro. 10 bags on like best of 3 FIFA. Bro, it's a different world. It's a different world, bro. I promise you. You know, like
okay,
that.
So you got gambling, let's say maybe cars and everything. I guess the kids will fucking want everything. They'll want everything immediately.
Bruv, divorce, blood. I swear down, someone told me, hey, you Arsenal fans are in here. Someone told me something about Abue, blood. Is that true, blood? What happened, blood? Man lost all his money.
Yeah. Yeah, his missus took everything.
Man,
because like she was the one handling all of his accounts. And she just shagged him.
And he couldn't read or something like that. And oh my days, man got absolutely fleeced. Like, these things happen, bro.
I saw that years ago.
You see what I'm trying to say, man, them. And this is why, brother. Listen, just don't do it, innit? That's what I mean. Like, it's crazy, bro.
Bro, she won't even leng like that. That's the maddest thing.
I said you got.
He looks like base card Rooney, bro. That is crazy.
I said base card. Man got done by a day walker. And
that is crazy, bro.
See, but this is what.
Yeah, happened. He went completely bankrupt after a bitter divorce and lost all of his money. And she handled all the finances.
Listen, man, them, like, I'm not proclaiming to be an absolute genius, yeah. I'm just saying, yeah, when you look at the odds, yeah, of leaving this thing with your bread, why would you do it? Why would you do it, bro?
Oh my gosh. No. As a professional footballer, bruv, you just played yourself.
But this is why when man are saying I'll settle down and nah, bro.
Settle down, but like, you not heard of a prenup?
Bruv, but come on,
your finances.
Women are not gonna sign these things.
Then don't be with them.
I hear that, but they're not gonna sign.
This is where it is like you're a footballer, you got 5 to 6 fucking figures a week.
But you got to tell the
girl, any girl you want to pocket, you could find a girl that will take a prenup. That's where I don't
tell the girl, yo, this is the signature for the joint bank account and that, and it's the prenup thing. You know there was there, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
And the thing is,
you can control my finances, but you won't take them if we separate. That's it.
Yeah, no, you're right, but you know it is, yeah, with the prenup thing as well. I think in America and here it's completely different. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly why CR7 ain't married his thing, bro, because he knows. And you know what it is?
Difference here?
No, because what it means in America is not what it means here. So, like in America, I think that they're more ironclad. I think here there's bare different laws. So even if you got one, they can still get your shit, yeah. And also you got to do certain things. It's booky, innit? Like I'll never find out, innit? I'll never find out what the difference is. But I mean, in terms of like, for instance, there's even certain laws that if you live with someone for a certain amount of time in certain states, in America, I think if you live with someone for a certain amount of time, even if you're not married, they're still entitled to your shit and that. Like, bro, it's crazy, bro. Like, if you're living in the same house.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, okay, bro.
Maybe it's not as straightforward as that then.
No, but it's not, bruv. See, they're not legally binding here, the prenups. They're not. So, do you know what I mean? So,
bro, they can just take your money like that. Crazy.
See, they do that in Canada, bruv. If you're cohabitating, if you're living with someone, Do you know what I mean? There's shared property laws, which means if you live with someone for a certain amount of time, yeah, you might as well be married, bro.
Fucking hell. So
But
you're
this is
bouncing from house to house.
this is why CR7 has done the genius thing, bro. Because you know what it is, yeah. Like if you're married, yeah, she's more likely to leave because she knows that she's got the safety net of your money and all these other things. If you don't marry her, she's more likely to stay because when she leaves, she knows she ain't getting shit. You know them ones. All she's getting is what? Child support in it here. And the thing is, yeah, man could do the banduli things. So man's only paying like 150 a week or something like that. Even if man's a millionaire, bro, man can give you the bare minimum. You know, like that. So
and the bare minimum
bro.
to someone like Ronaldo, who's probably been one of the most expensive paid footballers in the last 10, 15 years. That means even less to him. Even less.
But that's what I'm saying. So, like, bro, listen, he's got the thing patterned the right way. You know, like that. Yeah, bruv, listen, Scottie Pippen's wife here got 50% of his of like his equivalent to like his pension, like the money that he got paid after sports, 50%, you know, he's retired. And she took and she got that.
Dear women,
bros.
Oh,
so when Arteta and them man are telling these men to settle down, yeah, cool. That will benefit them during their career. Do you know what I'm saying? But after their career, blood, listen, that's gonna have their man on the curb, rude boy. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what? That's an Arsenal problem then. That's an Arsenal problem.
That's what I mean, brother.
Telling these men getting the same here now.
They're not, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is brazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this is crazy, blood. It's not a good idea if you're a baller to be doing this. Man said you gotta understand most of them sacrifice their childhood to live this life, so why would they want to settle down? Bro, no, bro, a lot of them do though, because it's a boring life. It's a boring life and a routine, and a lot of them just want companionship in it because you're just doing the same thing all the time, going training, coming home, eating, sleeping, whatever, repeat. And then it's a boring life unless you're out on a mad thing. And now with social media, you can't even be out on a mad thing because people are filming you. Do you get me? So because of that, I understand why a lot of these guys kind of want to do it, but in the long run, it never really works out for a lot of these bros. And that's why you hear about these guys getting bankrupt. You hear a lot about these footballers' wives leaving them after they retire and stuff. You hear a lot about it.
You got to do what Oba does and just uproot the whole family wherever you go.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you guys are going back to London. Let's go.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. It's brazy. Man said Sugar Ray's wife took his belt. Shit.
That's crazy.
No, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. You lot are funny, man, in the chat. But this is why I'm saying, man, say West Brown tax. You know what I mean? And that's why man are saying
West Brown tax.
Yeah, they say he went back. They said that he went bankrupt, yeah, and they were saying that Marcus Rashford was letting him stay in one of his things.
That was a few months back.
Yeah, bro.
Was that because his woman too?
Divorce thing, it has to be.
Fucking hell, bro.
Has to be.
Oh my gosh. Women are killing these guys.
But that's what I'm saying. And Bezos' ex is one of the richest women.
You know what? Forget you, man. Just stay single.
Off divorce, you know, one of the richest in the world from divorce overnight, blood. Bomber Clark.
You got to be quick. You got to be quick. You got to be smart because there's always somebody there that's going to start stealing your money.
I said he was on Rashi's couch. Nah, Rashi let him have one of the yards.
Stay single.
It's brazy, you know what I mean? That's why man have to do the Kevin Durant thing, where KD's just making his money, ain't got no youths, ain't got no wife. You get me? He's just doing his thing.
Peaceful. Just have a couple side pieces and you'll be good.
Bro, it's brazy. You know, like that is actually brazy. So I don't really know, bro. Hey, big up everyone in the chat though. You already know the thing. Gang. Man said, "Hey, bro, show you there's a bro. Listen, them ain't got no agreements, man. You know what I'm saying? But yo, people, fuck. Obviously, things are quieting down for Chelsea a little bit.
Yo, your mic's coming in and out.
Am I good now?
Come close to the mic. A little bit closer.
Yo, people, what's
yeah, that's it.
Nah, cool. So yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, things have gone quieter for Chelsea and that, but boy, us obviously we've been linked with Onana, the goalie. I'm seeing Amrabat links. You get me? I'm seeing Hoyland links. It seems like we're gonna
Amrabat.
Yeah. If we bag all three of them guys, yeah, all of a sudden I'm a bit more relaxed, blood. I can't like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit more relaxed at the season, bruv. You know what I'm saying?
You get that
Bro,
Casemiro depth.
yeah, bro.
That's
Bruv.
the game
Because
changer.
Amrabat's a clampers, bro. Like he's a real destructive player in there, but he's techie as well. If man get him, yeah, bro. If we get
Bring him
him,
on last 10, 15 minutes, close the game out, done.
brother, that's what I'm saying. And sometimes we could play him and Cass as well, blood. If man wanted to do the mad thing, bro. Like, I'll be real. If we get him in, yeah, we get Anana in and we get Hoyland in, yeah. If we just get them free, yeah. Obviously, Mount's already in.
Mount
If we
don't
get
look too bad. Mount don't look too
Mount
bad.
doesn't look bad. Yeah, Mount don't look too bad if we get these guys in as well. You know, like that. So I don't know. It could be decent, bro. You know what I mean? Man say Mount ball finally tomorrow. Hey, listen, relax, man.
But
You know
you're
what I'm
not
saying?
playing tomorrow.
Yeah, we're playing against Leeds at like 4 p.m. or some shit like that.
Finally, some fucking football on. Great. Cool.
That's what
I
I'm
know
saying.
I'll be watching tomorrow then. But yeah, I hope you lot don't get Amrabat, because that is a brilliant signing for you guys. Gives you some cover for Casemiro, gives you a good option to bring on during games where you're in winning positions. To be honest, I would even start the debate that fucking Amrabat and Casemiro should be starting with Bruno, and I wouldn't even fucking have Mount on the pitch personally. Or you have Mount and you take Bruno out, whichever one's better out of the two. But that's a much better midfield. That's a much better mid. I can't even take the piss out of that. Højlund, bit of a question mark. Onana, much better on the ball, so you've already improved. Yeah, like, I hope you lot don't get Amrabat, because that makes top four a lot harder for us personally.
Yeah, bro. If we get him, bruv, I'm a lot more comfortable with everything else. You know, like that. I'm comfortable with the mounting. I'm comfortable with everything if Amrabat comes in.
But that's what you needed. Like, Mount wouldn't have been an issue for you as long as it wasn't just Mount. Bringing in him by himself doesn't fix shit for you. Bringing in a DM fixes a lot of cover for you, which is your biggest issue. I didn't think Roadrunners was the issue for you. Like, I've always said, you can train anybody to press and just run around for 90 minutes. Like,
yeah,
that's more of a mental thing. Is the player willing to do that or not? But there are players that are capable of it. You needed a sitter. That's the right
100%. 100%. And also, he can progress the ball as well. You know what I'm saying? He's good.
Oh, yeah, congrats on losing De Gea as well. It's great to lose shit players.
Sensational, bruv. Like, all these United fans crying about this David De Gea geezer, bro. Bruv, I said it yesterday. This guy is massively overrated by our fan base. Do you know what I mean? In terms of his contribution to the club. Like,
what's the narrative with him now?
Bruv, they just love him, bro. Do you know what I mean? They're just talking about, oh, great servant and all this shit, bro. Listen, he spent half his time at the club complaining, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? The guy's a donut. Like, he had I don't know how long he was at Man United. Maybe he was at United for, I don't know. He must have been at United close to like 12 years.
12 years.
Exactly. And only 4 of those years, he's been top, bro. You know what I mean? It's been a shit sandwich. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's one of them ones where, bro, like, for 4 years out of the 12, like, undisputed, yeah, like, he's performed at the top level, bro. When he first came in, he was shit, bro. People forget that. He was crap, bro.
Yeah, the first season, there was a lot of question marks. It's just,
bro, the first season, bro, listen, De Gea was crap, blood. When he first came in, that man was sticking guys on De Gea on corners. He was a victim, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, man, forget that. You know what it is, yeah? Maybe a lot of these fans aren't old enough to remember when David De Gea first came in, skinny with the long hair and that. Bro, them guys were sticking players on De Gea at corners. He weren't coming for them. He was getting bullied. He was costing us bare goals. There was a time where we were thinking about selling him because he was dying. Then Sir Ferguson stuck with him. Then he started to repay us a little bit, yeah? Then he was shit again. You know, like that. He's been shit for the last 3 years, maybe more than that. He's been shit for maybe the last 3-4 years, yeah? And then he was shit for maybe 3-4 years at the beginning. Like, De Gea never came in and was a world beater straight away, blood.
Remember the 20-minute fail comp?
Bruv, someone said there's a 2-hour one.
Yep, they dropped a 2-hour one like a week ago. And not an hour and 50, but like deep it. We said 20 minutes as a goalkeeper when you have the least touches on the pitch is bad enough. A man said an hour and 50 minutes.
Crazy.
Of just fails. as a goalkeeper, where you get the least amount of touches per game. That is fucking insane to me. Like, I don't know whether to look at the guy who made it and think, are you fucking crazy or something? Or to just think, how does he have an hour and 49 minutes worth of footage on you? How have you given him that much content?
Bro.
Like, I've seen people say that you can't find a striker's goal comp without it being a David De Gea fail comp as well. And ever since they said that, I've started watching comps. It's like, yeah, there's a De Gea mistake everywhere. Every player I
Man's
watch,
got a movie. He's got a movie of fails, bro. Do you know how crazy that?
I watched a Mount goal comp and there was a De Gea fail in there. I was like, what? It's just everywhere. There's like one shot that he's either flapped at or one where his positioning's awkward and everything. It's fucking ridiculous. But if someone can make a 2-hour fail comp on you, bruv, I don't know what to tell you in it, man.
This is what I'm saying. Like, man in the chat been saying he's been washed since 2018. So what I'm saying, yeah, is not wild. Do you understand? Both sides of his career at Man United were poor, and then he had a good little patch in the middle. But he's been bad for more than he's been good. And then man call him a legend.
Yeah, I remember like he didn't really get to the world-class level until I think 14, 15. I think he was looked at as one of, if not the best goalkeeper in the world until about, I'd say 18, 19.
Well, there you go. About 4 years, bro. About 4 years he was up there. Just 4 years, the whole time. You get me? 4 years of his whole career, he was up there. A man is saying he's a legend because he's been at the club for so long. Bro, who cares about length of time, bro? What have you contributed, bro? You contributed more problems for me than you have positives, bro. Like, when I look at him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense, bro. He's made hella howlers. He's cost us trophies, cost us hella games. Like, he couldn't do enough in those 4 years, yeah, for me to forget the other 8, bro. That don't make no sense. From contract disputes to ridiculous howlers to the fact this guy can't save a fucking penalty to save his life. Like, bro, there's so many things, yeah, that this guy hasn't done well. To turn around and say he's a club legend, yeah, because he was there for 12 years is absurd, bro.
Kills the name legend.
But it does. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like someone said,
Van der Sar. Van der Sar was there for less years and he's considered a legend.
Bro, Van der Sar is a legend.
What he did in those years.
Based off his performances, bro, and also his leadership qualities on and off the pitch, which David De Gea does not have.
That's the bigger issue, though, because they're only saying he's a legend because of longevity. Like, longevity is only used as a factor if they've been consistent throughout that entire time. That's why you can have a guy like Marcel Desailly who's here for 4 seasons and he's viewed as a Chelsea legend. Thiago Silva's about to go into his 4th season. We're already having legend discussions. Like, to me, longevity don't count for him. It's only a factor if you've been there for a good couple of years and you haven't really won anything. Then it's like your longevity counts because you've been consistent. But really and truly, it's just how effective you are for your team over a period of time. Could be 2, 3, 4 years, depending on how consistent and how good you are. But just because you're there for 11 years doesn't mean that you're a legend. You can say you're a cult hero, but like it don't mean that you're a legend. You won 1 league title, an FA Cup, a Europa League, and a Carabao Cup. That's all he's won.
Bro, listen, Van Persie's a legend, bruv. You know them ones.
Yeah.
Man delivered 20 with the 20 on his back. The gunman.
He was only there for 3 years.
Bruv, that's it. Like, this De Gea thing is, bro, it's brazy. Like, what you mean? Legend of what, bruv? He's crybaby blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, De Gea ain't no legend. Bruv, and if he is, that's your club's going downhill if that's the case.
But that's what I mean, bro. Man's giving him legendary status because he was there for so long. That's nonsensical, bro.
Even the likes of Juan Mata, I don't think people outright call him a legend, but people talk about him like that.
Mata ain't no legend, bro. But Juan Mata is one of them ones where he's a fan favorite.
No, not for you guys. I mean for us.
Oh, for you lot, yeah. Hey, listen. It's a conversation for Chelsea.
That's the thing. If people wanted to come up to me and they say I view Juan Mata as the legend, I wouldn't think they're tapped. I'd be surprised, but like if you talk to me about it, man got 35 assists in 1 season for us and 19 goals.
Crazy.
back-to-back player of the year, and we're not debating whether he deserved the award or not, like with Mount. Mata fucking deserved both of those awards. Champions League winning, equalizing assists and everything, big moments. You could make the argument. De Gea, nah.
100%. But this is what I'm saying, and you know what it is? De Gea's situation is a case of what human beings do. You know when motherfuckers die, blood, and then people go to their funeral and start saying how good a person they are and that, and they don't tell you the truth about these people. This is what David De Gea is. It's like, it's that fucking funeral tax. You know them ones. The man are dead, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's such a nice guy, bruv. Man used to beat his wife, bruv. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Man used to punch up his wife and that, bro. Slapping up his wife with his car remote and that. Now I'm just saying in general. You know, when man die, they always want to try find the positives and that. You know what I mean? Oh, he was a good husband and that, bro. Man was blacking up his wife's eyes.
He's dead now. We gotta respect the dead.
That's what I mean. Out in these streets, bro. I don't respect the dead.
Now talk to me about when they were alive. Like,
bruv, if I didn't respect you when you're alive, when you're dead, it doesn't make a difference. You know, like that. And this is just what it is. And the thing is, the De Gea thing, it's not even like De Gea was a fan favorite, bro. Like, he's not a fan favorite like that, bro. Like, bro, I've sat in Old Trafford more times than I care to even remember, bro. Bruv, man ain't talking about fucking David De Gea like that. He's not a fan favorite, blood. He was never a fan favorite.
Yeah, all these years of De Gea at United, I have never heard a De Gea chant.
Bro, I'm telling you, he's not a fan favorite like that. I'm telling you. Then all of a sudden he's leaving. Now these men want to get all sentimental, bro. Like, it don't make no sense, bro. These men are not, bruv, they're not on De Gea like that. They've never been on De Gea like that. But that's what it is,
One
bro.
thing about football fans is they will throw emotion in front of everything.
No,
even
100%.
common sense.
No, they're right. And even someone like a Romero, like, we felt more sorry for Romero because he was a good servant to the club, never complained, whatever, and the club done him dirty with contracts. David De Gea, I feel like he's never had a relationship with the fans because he just keeps himself to himself and he don't care about nothing but himself. He's always just been the quiet one. Do you know what I mean? That's, bro, you don't really hear from De Gea until he's negotiating a contract, bro. Like, that's just what he's like. You know what I mean? So now all these football fans going on like he's got a place in their heart. No one gave a shit about De Gea like that. Like, it's brazen.
Now overstaters, welcome. People are just being a bit sensitive because when you, like, let's say when he was the best goalkeeper in the world, he could have left, but he chose to stay. But that's the narrative. Really and truly.
He didn't want to stay, bro. It was a fax machine thing. He didn't want to stay. He tried to force his way.
No, but by then, he's already signed for like 6 years. It's not a case of he could have left. No, just signed away 6 years. You're not leaving anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Real Madrid thing, yeah, he wanted to leave. We made him stay. He sulked, and then he decided to sort himself out. Do you know what I mean? And then he'll make it out like he always respected the club. It's the same with Ronaldo. He done the same thing. Tried to go Real Madrid. He went Real Madrid. And even though he went Real Madrid, he wanted to go the season before. He done all the slavery tax thing, talking about, oh, I feel like a slave and that, and all these things. And Man United fans just forgave him. I don't forgive players for this shit. I don't forgive De Gea for holding us to ransom here to sign that contract. I don't forgive Ronaldo for doing the bullshit in the Euros when, you get me, man got Rooney sent off here and then tried to use that as leverage to not come back to Man United and sell it Ferguson, who had to fly out to him and all this bullshit. Bro, we're gonna be pandering.
You weren't gonna come back to England.
Bro, you weren't gonna come back, bro. After that tournament, man was talking about not coming back to Man United. He wasn't talking about not coming back to England, bro.
He was shook.
Listen, because the English fans were talking about doing him the mad thing. You know them ones, and he was using that as an excuse to not come back. People don't remember these things. I remember all these things, and I don't forget them, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when people come out with this revisionism and say, oh, I've always loved the club. No, you haven't, bro. Shut up. You know what I mean? You're here because...
That Ronaldo situation, though, like, he's made his own bed with that one. But I do quietly understand. I think he's overdone it. Like, no one's really going to fucking rush your house and everything over this fucking England getting knocked out. Although maybe I'm underestimating some England fans. Maybe some of them would. But even then, like, just buy some extra security or something and, like, should be able to get through it. I don't know. Like, I get the fear, but I wouldn't... Using it as a way to get out of United, actually, when you've got yourself into that situation. It's a little bit of a bitch move. It actually is a little bit of a bitch move. The more I'm talking myself through it, the more I see it. Because you've got yourself into that situation. If you're annoyed about it, or if you're worried about it, you got to prove them wrong on the pitch. And at the least, I guess he did that. Because 06-07 was when he really started to break out. Like, I remember it was him and Drogba for the Golden Boot that season. It was the first year that I got into football. That was when people really started talking about him. So I guess he used that as motivation.
No,
that's why he was moving a bit bitchy.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So football fans forget this, and that's why when these players come out with their PR statements written for them by their PR company,
that's the biggest snakier move. He was going to go City. That's the biggest snakier move. That's the one that would have been unforgivable.
But this is why I'm trying to say, yeah. You see, when these guys come out with their PR statements, I'm not here for none of it, bro. I'm not here for your long Instagram posts. I'm not here for your nostalgic old photos, bruv. You pussy-os, try leave, man, innit? Like, the only real loyalty in football is from the fans. I keep telling you. That's why when these footballers try to talk this shit, I'm not hearing it, cuz. Like, most of these men are snakes. They're going to do what they're going to do. The same way with the clubs. Like, that's why miss me with all of it. Miss me with all the bullshit. Like, miss me with it. I'm not stupid, fam. Do you know what I mean? And this
that's
is just
why I
what
always tell people stop putting these players on the pedestal unless they put the club on the pedestal, because every single one of them will snake you out. That's what I said all season with the whole Mount and Havertz situation.
I look at the Mount situation. Mount was in the Man United dressing room with his dad. You could see that was a proud moment.
Called it home, you know.
Yeah, but that's a moment, bruv. His dad is a Man United fan. This is the move, yeah, that man always wanted. You know, like that. Like, when you look at the move, yeah, like, Mount wants to be David Beckham so badly, bro. Like, when you see it, yeah, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if Mount used to sleep in flipping Beckham pajamas, blood. I swear to God, yeah, that bro looked like a Man United fan sitting in there, bro. You know, like that. That's what it looked like. You know what I mean? That's what it looked like. So when man was
this is the guys everyone was saying was Mr. Chelsea like 2 weeks ago.
But that's it. He always wanted to leave, blood.
He loves the club.
His dad was the driving force. 100%. This brother's a Man United fan, bruv. You know them ones that you know.
Though. And all that for 50k extra on the contract.
Yeah. So that means he was never Mr. Chelsea.
Right there. The whole
man built him up.
Season.
You man built him up to be Mr. Chelsea, but he was never Mr. Chelsea. Like, he never once came out and said he was a Chelsea fan, to my knowledge.
He even came out and said I'm a Portsmouth fan, and these lot still made a banner for him and defended him through all of his bullshit.
Said he's a Portsmouth fan. His dad supports Man United, but they tried to make him Mr. Chelsea.
They just tried to force a whole Chelsea narrative on him just because he did the whole Didier Drogba thing with the Champions League when he pretended it was a car and everything. Drogba, by the way, who is also a part of the same PR company as Mason Mount. So for anyone who tried to use Drogba defending him as a reason to say, oh, he gets the club. If Drogba gets it, you should get it. I love Drogba. I'll never slander him because his role in the whole Mount saga is very minimal. But he's part of the PR train. And I'm not listening to a word he says about Mason Mount. And that's fine. I'll listen to him talk on anything else. I'm not listening to him talk on Mount. That guy did not want to be here. We were a stepping stone to him. And that's fine. That's fine. I just hope to all of you guys who put Mount on a pedestal, you realize that, like, it's blatantly fucking obvious when somebody wants to be here and somebody doesn't. Reece James, with the new ownership and everything, re-signed a month after Tuchel's sacking for 6 years. Mason Mount, we couldn't even get a contract sorted before the World Cup, and he was meant to be more proper Chelsea than James.
Facts.
James is getting thrown under the bus for Mount. Oh, I see why Mason Mount's asking for 250k a week. James gets the same amount and he can't stay fit. And all of that. Well, Mason Mount's the one who pretended to be injured for the last 3 months of a pubic bone injury, while still managing to be fit for Real Madrid away and everything before disappearing again because of an aggravation and all of that. Meanwhile, Reece James is here. Reece James is being rushed back from injury by that idiot Graham Potter every single time last season, and he's still performing. He's still playing more consistently than Mount. He recovers quicker than Mount. He's more loyal than Mount. He's actually committed his long-term future, unlike Mount. There's a reason why he got that money immediately. It's because when James is fit, James can argue being one of the best right-backs in the world. You could probably argue one or two other names if you want to, but James will always be in the conversation. What will Mount be in the conversation for being best of? I'll wait. Half turns. Nothing else. Havertz, another one. Literally snaked everyone who defended him for 300k a week at Arsenal. But hey, he gets the club.
That man
He's
said
always
that
fit. Always wants
man
to be
said
here.
that he filmed that Arsenal video at my man's wedding or something.
Yeah, it was at Kepa's wedding.
Hey, that's crazy.
Kepa's wedding. The Arsenal TikTok did a video where they carried the Arsenal shirt from the Emirates to the plane to the wedding, all the way to Havertz. And part of me thinks Jorginho was the one who did the whole thing. The whole thing.
Yeah. Brother, Jorginho was in the photo, innit? That's brilliant.
Yeah. Jorginho with the little eye emojis and everything. Like, oh, we've got another one. We got another one. He's another snake too, but he's another one who the fans were like, he's proper Chelsea. He's always fit. He's always running around. Backs the fans and all of that. Backs the club. He won us the Champions League and all of that. Brother went and just joined your London rivals and picked them over going to Bayern Munich, going back to Germany. Picked them over going abroad and winning trophies. He picked Arteta. He picked Arsenal. These are the two players you put on a pedestal, the two players you ripped into people like me who saw through the whole bullshit and said, oh, they're going to mud you and everything. You're going against the only two people who care about this club. They were the first two out the door. And they were the only two that's joined us for rivals. Look at things at face value and you can see whether players want to be here or not. Reece James committed. Thiago Silva committed. Even the likes of Chalobah committed. Enzo, Mudryk, Madueke, all committed. Gallagher, I don't rate Gallagher. I think he's a crap football player. I won't lie to you lot. The guy's committed, he's got no ego. I'll give him that. I won't give him anything else, but I'll give him that. He's at least committed and he's got his head down. People putting the likes of Mount, Havertz, Pulisic, Ziyech, all on pedestals. Oh, I've even gone into arguments with my mates over it because this argument that if Havertz does well at Arsenal, it's Chelsea's fault. I will say this right now, and like this is a bigger platform than me as well, so I'm glad I can say it on here. If Havertz balls out at Arsenal, all that says to me is that guy won the UCL and mentally coasted for the next 2 years because the fan base allowed him to. He went to another club where he'd proven nothing to them. If anything, he'd done even less because he'd done stuff for a rival team. And now he's woken up. Now he's had to do something. Now he's had a little bit more motivation. That guy won the UCL and fell asleep mentally, which is why I got the understanding of the idea of Havertz. I get it. You even see it once or twice a season. It's great to watch and everything like that. But he's not there mentally. Like, he gets into the right positions as a striker and everyone wants to gas him up for it. But when he doesn't finish the chances because his finishing technique is that of a 2-year-old, suddenly it's, oh, he's not a striker. You're misprofiling. You're playing him out of position. He is genuinely Morata. Number 29, useless other than in the air, weak, dives a lot, offside a lot, scored the UCL final goal, all of that crap. Like, to me, Havertz, if he wanted to ball out, he would have done it himself. He gets himself into the right positions mentally. He gets himself into the right positions on the pitch, even to an extent, says the right things. On the pitch, though, he has zero application. If Arteta can get that application out of him, that says to me he couldn't get it out of himself at Chelsea because the whole narrative was Chelsea plays better with Havertz up front as opposed to Lukaku, as opposed to Aubameyang, actual consistent strikers. I don't like Lukaku, but he'll bag me 20 goals a season if you find him the ball. As much as I don't like him, he'll do it. Same thing to Aubameyang. But we play him with Havertz because he's more fluid for the whole team. So, if that's the case, why are you defending him when he can't finish his chances? You lot want to make an argument for him for one thing and then praise him for the same thing that we're calling him when it suits your narrative. Fact is, Kai Havertz has been the biggest issue for Kai Havertz over anybody else.
Hey, bro, listen, you are spitting. Oh, my days.
Bro, I've had to argue with these guys for years. I was even arguing with my mate over it yesterday. It's like, bro, well, we're not throwing Chelsea under the bus for this guy. It's not Chelsea's fault the guy couldn't finish. It's not Chelsea's fault the guy shits the bed 1v1. And it's not Chelsea's fault the guy's offside 3 times in a game. Every single game. That's his fault. If he could be offside less, if he could finish more, Chelsea wouldn't be 12th in the league last season. We'd probably be 7th and we'd be in Europe. Chelsea would have beaten Real Madrid 2 years ago when we got knocked out in away goals because Havertz missed 2 big chances in that game. Chelsea could have probably been competing for the league title the season before that because Havertz would have been scoring more goals. But the idea is just, Havertz saved us from relegation because he scored 6 goals and 2 penalties. Man got penalties and still couldn't get me to 10 league goals in a season. That's his fault. That's his fault. It's not Chelsea's fault. Chelsea are not to blame just because attackers can't deliver. Sometimes the system hasn't helped them. That's for wingers. Like the wingers, I get it. Pulisic's been let down at times. Ziyech has been let down because we played with narrow wingers in a 3-4-3 and all of that. That's fine. The strikers, no. You have had ample time, ample opportunities to score goals. You've stunk out the pitch. That's on you. That's your fault. Don't give me any of this shit because we'll play Lukaku up top. We'll have 2 chances in a game and everyone will say, oh, fucking Havertz needs to come up top because we're more fluid. Why are we more fluid and you're not scoring goals? Figure me that. We beat Norwich 7-0, right? And he still got dominated by the Norwich defenders and didn't get any goals or assists. Hudson-Odoi scored. Hudson-Odoi got 4 goals for Chelsea and he scored. Mount's got receipts. And you got 0 GA. But it's our fault. It's our fault.
No, it's
waffle. No one can ever gaslight. If Havertz balls out Arsenal, nobody can gaslight me into thinking we were the problem. I'm not listening. I'm not listening.
No, 100%. No, you're right. You're right. Rightly so. Hey, bruv, you're killing me. Hey, you lot, smash that like button, bruv. We need at least 700.
Hit the likes. Hit the likes.
What's going on, bruv?
Havertz conversion rate.
Bruv, we got 1,200 in here. We only got 570 likes, bruv. We need 700. You man are taking the absolute piss, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm back later for Red Talk. We'll talk about there's rumors they're saying that we're trying to use Ahmad as a make weight to get Højlund. But also I heard that we were potentially discussing loaning Mason Greenwood there as well. Bare different things. So I'm back with Aaron tonight at 7. So we'll talk about that. What are you saying later on anyway? What's the rest of your day looking like, Lewis?
Quick gym session, and then we're back for another live stream at 3:30. Yeah, around 3:30. Probably talking Lukaku and any new Chelsea news. And yeah, big up everybody. Hit the likes as well, guys.
Get them likes up, man. You know what I'm saying? We need at least 700 people, and man's gonna be back here at 7 p.m. for the Red Talk. So we're just gonna talk some more on potential incoming transfers, and then what is tomorrow? We got a game, innit? Our friend, is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow we got a friend. Yeah, Leeds tomorrow as well. So I'm sure we'll touch on that as well, people. Do you know what I mean? So, yo, big up everyone. Smash that like. Make sure you follow Lewis's channel. The link is in the title. Let's get us up to 700 likes before you leave, people. Everyone that's watching right now, there's still 1,200 of you. Just press the bloody like button, man. You've had a quality show, and I'm going to see you guys at 7.